invested in the school system. With all our children enrolled in school, it is the right time for me to not only use my efforts and energies for my own children, but for the benefit of all families in Medford. In 7th grade, my teacher called me the question queen, and she was right. I asked a lot of questions. 2 years ago, when a Roberts school bus route was cut, it caused other buses to be overcrowded. My daughter Tegan, who's here, counted 71 children on the bus one day. I called and asked our principal, the school bus coordinator, the mayor's office, what can we do to get our bus back? Other parents also voiced their concern, and the bus route was restored. In addition to overcrowded buses, I've experienced overcrowded classrooms. In 2010, my daughter again, Tegan, her kindergarten class had 27 5-year-olds. I asked our principal, school committee members, and our assistant superintendent, how do we add another class? Other parents and I were encouraged to attend the school committee meeting, and we did. And in October of 2010, they added another kindergarten class. An overcrowded class happened again in 2012. 2 4th grade teachers retired, but only 1 replacement was hired. Again, we asked, we lobbied, and a second 4th grade teacher was hired. I want to share these stories with you to relay my interest and passion for improving our school system and my willingness to be an advocate for all our students and parents. With 6 children in the school system, I'm on the front lines. When I see areas that need improvement, I ask questions, talk to all the parties, and collaborate on possible solutions. As a school committee member, I hope to continue to ask questions. I'll ask whether every decision is in the best of our students' interest. I will ask if we can do more. I will ask how we can improve. The one thing I learned early on in life is that the value is not in only asking the questions, but listening to the answers. I will listen to students, parents, teachers, administrators, bus drivers, lunch monitors, whoever has something to say. I want to hear from the parents, their concerns, their issues, their difficulties, and I will ask who I need to in order to get an answer and hopefully a solution. I'll ask for you. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Robin Emmett Skerry. I'm a candidate for re-election to the school committee. As I look around the audience tonight, I'd like to thank Barbara Rubel and Tufts and Jay Campbell for this opportunity. I see many former students, friends, citizens of the community, family, and I'd like to say to those of you that I don't know, I'd like to take this opportunity this evening to meet you and say hello. Medford has improved vastly its quality of education. If you just look around, we've built new schools in the last 10, 15 years. We've tried to keep them up. We've built new science labs. We've taken care of the fields. There's much more to be done, and I want to be part of it. My experience, drive, presence, and commitment to the Medford educational community enable me to achieve results no matter what the obstacles. I demand nothing less for our young students and minds attending our schools. Education is the cornerstone of a prosperous community. In Medford, I will place the highest priority on giving our young citizens every chance to achieve their dreams. My school board experience through good times and bad times has further provided me with the insight to work well with my colleagues, and although we don't always disagree, we do agree that we're here for our children and make sure that they get the best education possible. Our school budget is the foundation upon which successful educational outcomes are built. Across the nation, financial failings are registered daily, but we in Medford work hard to ensure that our hard-earned dollars of our Medford taxpayers are best put to the use in sound programs and class size limits that are enforced and embraced. Earlier, you've heard that there have been problems with buses. When we hear of the problem, we make sure the problem gets resolved. I scrutinize expenditures to assure that school funds are used prudently on behalf and of our benefit of our students in a timely fashion. I advocate for and am the voice for proven programs that give Medford's children the ability to flourish and succeed in today's world. Programs enable our graduates to compete for jobs, to complete advanced education, and to continue lifelong learning after high school so that they prosper and remain civically minded. In closing, I'd just like to say, Medford is a diverse community. Our children's differences must be respected through the implementation of a curriculum tailored to our children's needs and abilities to successfully complete state and federal mandated testing. The ideal educational experience in Medford prepares students to start school on firm footing, encourages them to pursue their educational journey through high school and beyond, and promotes competency and career skills, and instills a lifelong thirst for knowledge and learning and passing it on to their future families. In summary, my candidacy for the school board, I remain committed to the students of Medford. I ask for one of your 6 votes on November 3rd. And as always, if you have any problems, I always have an open line of communication. Please call me. Thank you, and have a safe trip home.
Hi, I would like to begin by thanking Jake Campbell and Tufts University for organizing and hosting this forum. Thank you also to our audience and those committed to making Medford a better place to live. My name is Paulette Vanderkloot, and it has been my honor to serve on the Medford School Committee for 26 years. In that time, I have watched my own children grow, attend the Medford Public Schools, go to college, and enter the adult world. I have also seen your children grow and the children of our community grow and flourish as well. In fact, some of those very kids are in our audience and in fact, on the stage. This is what I want for all of our children: to be prepared, to be learners, to be ready to weather tough times, to be healthy, to be competent, and to be confident, to be flexible, and to be able to adapt to changing times, to be able to work well with others, to be active citizens, and to be able to grow throughout their lives and to care for the next generation, just as we have cared for them. For my work on the school committee, these hopes translate to real action. Concerned about greater anxiety amongst the student population, a growing issue in Medford and across the Commonwealth, this school committee expanded counseling services. With better funding, now we can keep class size small, and we are the envy of many of our surrounding towns. We've partnered with Tufts and other service organizations to bring resources to our classrooms. The Global Scholars Program, a partnership with the Bloomberg Foundation, energizes our 7th grade students and has connected them with students from all around the world. Our vocational technical school is re-energized and now offers programs in biotechnology, marketing, robotics, business technology, and soon environmental science. These programs join long-standing shops that prepare students for vital trades. We've adopted new educational materials and updated technology, though we all know that updating technology is and will be a constant need. We've been committed to our art and music programs and can boast award-winning band and orchestra programs. We offer 15 advanced placement courses to high school students. We successfully completed major capital programs, including the high school science labs and the pool, which were completed in a timely way and on budget. This list is long. I look forward to continuing the conversation later tonight and in the coming weeks. This is an exciting time of change in Medford. There is, however, one thing which I hope will not change. I certainly know that what will not change is my common sense, leadership, and vision that I bring to the school committee. I am a proven commodity. With your vote, I will continue to be an active voice for our children, our families, and our community. I am as energetic and passionate as the day I was first elected. In fact, I was thinking about it. I think I may even be more so. At work, I interact with high school students from Medford and surrounding towns every day. I am a leader in the statewide school committee organization, and I am active in the Too Much Testing campaign. Additionally, I have just co-founded the Medford Educational Foundation, and I invite you all to join us at Wrights Pond this Sunday from 3 to 7 for a perfectly lovely day celebrating this new educational initiative. All this keeps me connected and current. I have been most extremely fortunate to serve the citizens of Medford. With deep respect, I ask you to please give a hoot. Vote Vanderkloot.
Good evening. My name is Jane Wright, and I'm the last of the candidates for Medford School Committee. My husband Bob and I have been homeowners in the city for 19 years, and we have 4 children in the Medford Public Schools. We have a 7th grader and an 8th grader at the McGlynn Middle School, and a 2nd grader and a 5th grader at the McGlynn Elementary School. Since my oldest son was in 1st grade, I have been on the executive board of the PTG at that school, and for the last 6 years, I have been the treasurer. With the other members, we support the students and staff and are in constant communication with the principal and teachers to enhance the great work being done. While all of the candidates before me are great choices and are qualified for Medford School Committee, I have something different to offer: many years' experience in the classroom. I have been a public school teacher for the last 22 years. Teaching has changed greatly for the last 20 years or more. When I first started, there was no Common Core curriculum, MCAS, PARC, AYP, SGP, Retail Access, WIDA. We could go on and be here all night. I did not have an interactive whiteboard in my classroom or laptops and computers that we have now. I was able to go at a pace that was beneficial to my students at that time, and I could use as much creativity as I wanted. Nowadays, teachers are held to a strict pacing guide, and they unfortunately do not have that luxury because more and more are put on us every single year. The state keeps adding mandates, but does not increase funding to the schools. The number of children coming into our classrooms have an abundance of needs that we had less of 20 years ago. Homelessness, abuse, neglect, students who speak little or no English, and some who have never been in school before. We are educators, coaches, therapists, guidance counselors, behavior specialists, friends, and parents to every child who walks through our door. Our work goes home with us nightly, and we often spend our money on supplies that these families are not able to obtain. In addition to my time in the classroom, I've been on negotiating and bargaining committees, working on various issues such as school budgets. I was a member of a school council. I've been on committees to adopt new curriculum and textbooks. I was a teacher union representative. I've been a new teacher mentor, as well as supervisor to student teachers. I have attended hundreds of workshops and conferences relating to curriculum and issues in the classroom. If elected, I will work tirelessly to advocate for all the students in Medford, the gifted who should be challenged at a higher level than their actual grade level, the average student who oftentimes gets lost in the crowd, the students who have difficulty in the classroom and who need differentiated work, and also the teachers, also the students who are just learning English. As an educator and parent, I understand the stresses on and the needs of parents, teachers, paraprofessionals, and administration. I am confident in my ability to listen, understand, respond, and work with any group or individual to maintain a strong, positive atmosphere and the best possible learning experience for our children. Thank you and have a good night.
Thank you very much. No problem. I'll get you another one. So I'd like to ask the city council candidates to come up. Thank you very much for doing that. And while the city council candidates are coming up, I'm very excited about this. What we're actually at right now, and I'd also ask all the people standing in the back, there's still some more seats. Come on down, they're free. There's no charge. Come, sit, enjoy. What's gonna happen is that this is actually the first part. We're going to have a school committee candidate forum on October 21st. We're going to ask you, when you go into the other room, to submit questions for it. You can email me at jay@jcampbellrealty.com, jcampbellrealty.com, J-A-Y. Fill it out. There's QR code, Facebook. We're going to do the same thing with the city council candidates as well as the mayor. So great.
Good evening, everybody. First, before I start, on behalf of myself and my fellow council candidates here, I want to thank Tufts University and Jay Campbell for putting on this daunting task of putting this together for Jay and Tufts folks. Thank you very much, and hopefully in 2 years we'll be doing this again. My name is Richard Caraviello. I am a lifelong resident of the city, 61 years, and I'm married to my wife Carol for 38 years. I have 3 children, 5 grandchildren, 2 of which are still in the schools of Medford. I grew up in Medford, where Community service and government are a means of serving people in its way of life. My campaign theme 4 years ago, and still is today, is to be the strong, independent voice that our Medford residents deserve. During my 3.5 years on the council, I have served one term as council vice president, chairman of the licensing committee, and veterans committees. I was able to institute a program that helps veterans with minor home repairs done at no cost. I, along with tree warden Aggie Tuden, instituted a buy a tree, get a tree program with the business owners of Medford. This November, you will see approximately 24 trees planted around the business areas of our city. I am also the representative to the Massachusetts Gaming Commission. My function at the Gaming Commission is to obtain additional mitigation funds for our city for any damage that arise that are unforeseen. The election this year represents the most important opportunity we've had in many years to set a new direction for our city. We will be electing a new mayor, 2 new city councilors, and 2 school committee members. During my last 3 years, we faced significant challenges, and by and large, we've met them. But I'm not satisfied with the pace and the scope of the change. Right now, the fate of our city turns on how real we are about the challenges confronting us and how bold we are in addressing them. Public safety has been one of my top concerns since elected. I have supported the hiring of public safety employees, both police and fire personnel, along with the purchasing of new fire equipment and police equipment. But the major concern is that the men and women which serve our community 24 hours a day, 365 days a year, do not have a combined police and fire headquarters to meet today's needs. This is something we have to get done soon. I have supported the building of the public works and the hiring of additional personnel and the purchase of new equipment. But the reality is that our DPW is understaffed and under-equipped to meet the needs of our growing community. The hiring of a new DPW director should be one of the first priorities of our new mayor. The infrastructure of our schools, which are no longer new, and municipal buildings are in need of repair. As a council, we must work with the mayor to find a funding source to address this problem now and into the future. Our business community is facing one of the biggest problems it's ever had: competition from surrounding communities. You know, a little story I read last week in the paper about the Brooks PTO, and I was very proud to see that they received a check for $20,000 from Assembly Row. That represents probably $200,000 that we let go out of this community. It's a shame that that happened. But it's good for the school, those kids got that money. We need to change our Office of Community Development and into the Office of Redevelopment. Unlike surrounding cities, we do not have acres of underdeveloped lands and empty buildings. We need to work with current property owners and develop a plan to bring the kinds of businesses that will enhance Medford, not devalue it. Medford Square has many opportunities to improve, and we need to change its direction. We have a huge asset, the river, and we are not taking advantage of it. Ring Road and city-owned parcels in Medford Square are ripe for development and should be addressed by our new administration. Parking issues in the current program needs to be reevaluated. We, as a council and the mayor, need to work with Republic Parking to come up with a solution to try and make all parties amenable to the program. Arts and culture are now an integrated part of our community and should have a director in City Hall to address the needs of this growing part of our city. The director, mayor, and council should work to find ways to fund the arts program similar to other communities so it can remain viable. I have supported additional fundings for our public library, funding of our high school science labs, and the rebuilding of the pool in high school fields. I support funding for Chevalier Auditorium, similar to Linden Lowell, so it can thrive and help bring businesses into Medford. From the many corners of our city, we can agree on a shared vision, A city with its people employed, well-schooled, not overtaxed, and believing in getting their fair value from government. I will fight for what does work, and I will end what doesn't. I won't shy away from challenges. I will join you in confronting them to make Medford the great city it can be. I have been a leader with every organization I have been involved with and work to make it better. I promise to bring my leadership skills with the mayor and the city councilors to make Medford the best place in the state to live. I am asking my fellow residents for the opportunity to serve you another 2 years, to work for you as your counselor, who is truly beholden to none, accountable to all. Medford voters are given 7 votes in November. I am asking you for one of them. So again, I thank you and see everybody in November.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Mark Crowley, and thanks to all of you for coming out this evening. And a special thanks to Tufts University and to Jay Campbell for being our hosts. This November, we have an incredible opportunity to reshape the future of our city. We have a chance to move us forward and not stay stuck in the past. And that's why I'm running for City Council, to bring a new generation of leadership with forward-looking vision and help unlock the potential that we all know our city has. By means of background, I've spent my career helping companies grow, create jobs, and balance budgets. I currently work as the Director of Finance for a local software company called Constant Contact, where I'm responsible for balancing and managing a $300 million budget for an organization with more than 1,000 employees. I received my MBA from MIT, and I also have a degree in economics from Brandeis University. But most importantly, I'm married to my wife for 17 years, Suanna, who currently serves as the president of the Friends of the Medford Family Network. Together, we have 2 young daughters, Caroline and Evelyn, ages 10 and 3. Now, for all of you here tonight, I suspect you're like the thousands of people whose doors I've knocked on. You want something better. Whether it's the lifelong residents who remember Medford back in its prime, when we had things like bowling alleys, movie theaters, great shops in the square. Or perhaps you're like the young couples that have recently moved to town to raise a family, looking for good schools, a nice place to grab a bite, a clean park to play with the kids. We all want the same thing. It spans generations. We all want to build a better Medford. So how do we do that? Well, the first thing is financial responsibility. We just simply need to be smarter with our money. The city of Medford has a $155 million budget. And as boring as it may sound, that's what I do for a living, I've gone through the numbers. And we can do better. We really can do better. And like me, you see property taxes. They go up each year, and you ask yourself, where are they going? You look around, you see potholes, you see a police station that could probably be in much better condition, you can see a library that needs a whole lot more funding. And you say, I'm just not convinced my tax dollars are being spent in the most productive manner. You know, for example, why is it that the mayor has 4 secretaries? Why is it that we can paint the street with red, white, and blue stripes when we should be filling the potholes on the streets? That's what I'm talking about. That's how we... Thank you. The most important job that the city council has is to review and approve the budget. It only makes sense that you have someone that serves on that council who understands the numbers. I've spent my career helping companies manage their finances. I want to bring that same discipline to the council so we can find room in our budget to fix those potholes, to hire the new teachers, to fill those empty storefronts, and redevelop and revitalize our squares. And that leads me to my second point. We need a strong and vibrant business community. And not just in Medford Square, all of our squares. It starts with creating a business-friendly environment, with City Hall leading the charge, advocating for our city, and reaching out to the business community to invest in our town. We have so many fantastic resources that every business owner should be flocking to our city. Closeness to Boston, transportation, natural resources, a fantastic demographic. Who wouldn't want to do business in this city? We really shouldn't have to rely on grassroots efforts from local community groups like the Medford Community Coalition or Cachet, organizing cash mobs or cleanups We can do better. We shouldn't have to rely on them to clean up the squares for us. My friends, the future of Medford starts now, and it starts with new faces and new ideas. Again, my name is Mark Crowley. Thank you, Jay. I ask you to stop by my table, and I thank you, and I ask you for your vote in November. Thank you.
One page. I timed it too. 2 minutes, 58 seconds. I timed it before I got it. I'd like to thank Jay and Ben and Tufts University for allowing us to use this great space. I was just reminded, Ben, that when I was here, I was a student here, I saw the Ramones here. It's a little strange to be up here right now. I just want to say that I look forward, we won't, like I said, 2 minutes, 58 seconds, so I won't have much time to do this again. Oh, my name is Chris DeVita. I'm running for city council. That was the first paragraph right here. I'm running a campaign for change in Medford. I'm running a campaign against stagnation, against the status quo, and for the future. I'm a homeowner, a taxpayer, a husband and father of 2 Medford public school children, involved in various seasons in Little League, soccer, and basketball. I'm a graduate of Tufts here. I'm a certified city planner and have been certified as a public purchasing officer. To give you a little personal history, I was raised just up the street at the top of the hillside, somehow ended up here as an undergrad. I've worked various jobs in college. I delivered pizza at Espresso's. I drove the van at the Craddock Apothecary. That wasn't my fault when it got hit. I've been various things in my life. I've been a Teamster, I've been a restaurant worker, I've worked at the deli at Stop and Shop, and I'm rooted here, and now my family is also. My professional life is also mostly in this area. I worked for a number of years as a project manager in the Office of Strategic Planning in Somerville on transportation projects involving the MBTA and the commuter rail with nearly every utility you can imagine. I've had a state and federal agency work cooperatively with state and federal agencies. I was the manager of the storefront improvement program in Somerville and the neighborhood planner for Davis Square and Union Square. I wore a lot of hats in that department over the years. Somerville did something that I noted recently by talking to someone. Somerville they hired a grant writer for their city who I worked closely with when I was there. And that one single person alone brought in tens of millions of dollars. And I'm hoping that Medford can do the same under a new administration. As community development director in Haverhill, I authored and the city successfully received a $700,000 grant to develop veterans housing. As assistant director of planning in Waltham, I completed zoning reviews of developments numbering the hundreds of thousands of square feet that bring in nearly that same amount to the tax coffers of the city every year. I've done surveys of the economic health of downtowns and been a part of the initiative to create activity and desirability in commercial business districts through the State Department of Housing and Community Development. And if I want to accomplish one thing as an elected city councilor, it would be to see Medford plan for the future. All of these things each of us want will cost some amount of money. It will cost some amount of money and require the willpower to see it through. And how do we get there? I want to see some fiscal and strategic planning, as Medford is a major player in the greater Boston area, and we should be working towards seeing some benefit of that position for our residents. I want to keep our residential tax rate in the lower third of the state, where the mayor has been able to keep it, but do smart development to ease the residential burden and still allow us to afford some of those things we all think Medford should have.